Tori here today with a scrapbooking process video. This one is number 56 and it's called A Shared Experience, and I am using the delightfully delicious and amazing Felicity Jane Note to Self kit. I love this kit. I love the colors, I love the papers, I love everything about it, and it is so much fun to play with. And I'm so excited to share this layout with you. I mean, this layout is kind of obvious maybe, like I used notebook paper and actually used it kind of like as a notebook for journaling, but I mean, I still love it, and I love this paper, and I love the whole thing, so I can't wait to share it with you. I hope you guys like this layout. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out, so well, let's see. Let's get into this. So one of the scrapbooking papers that came in the kit was this notebook lined piece of paper. And I thought that would be so perfect for a layout where I have a ton of journaling, because I could use those lines for journaling. And I had this photo of my brother and a friend who we call Uncle Vic. And I had taken it, and I just love that photo, and I feel like I had a lot of journaling for that photo, so it worked out really well. So what I decided to do was stick that photo of the guys in the bottom right hand corner with some layering, and then do journaling more like on top of that and off to the side. So what I did was I grabbed a doily, because every layout is better when you add a doily. And I stuck that in the corner, and then I just grabbed some of the other papers from the kit and kind of ripped them up, so that there would be like jagged lines, and cut different pieces and kind of layered them underneath the photo. So while I'm doing that, let me tell you a little bit about the journaling and a little bit about the photo and why I had so much to say and why this photo is really like meaningful to me. So most of you, if you've been watching my channel for a while, or if you know me, know that I traveled with the African Children's Choir for a year and a half, and it was one of the most amazing, incredible, life-changing things that I've ever done. And on tour, there's 8 chaperones, and we traveled together for like a year, taking care of these kids, being chaperones, and Uncle Vic, there on the left, was one of the chaperones with me, and we became really good friends on tour. And because you're together like 24/7 for a year and a half, like you get to know each other quite well. And so we have this like shared experience. Now my brother also traveled with the African Children's Choir. He didn't travel with the same choir I did. He traveled the year after with a different choir, but he's also a previous African Children's Choir chaperone. Now, why is that important? No matter how much you try to tell people about what it's like to be on tour with a choir for a year and a half, like changing houses every other night and raising kids that are not your kids but feel like your kids, as much as you try to explain that to people, people don't really get it. And it's just different. And when you can talk to other chaperones or other people who lived it, who did it too, it's like you have this bond. And it doesn't matter if they were in the same choir with you or not. Because on tour, we would meet up with past chaperones, like people who had been with the choir like 20 years earlier. And it was like we're just instantly friends, and we have this like shared experience that we can talk about. And so this photo, I kind of love it a lot, because Uncle Vic came to visit and he stayed with us, and we got to spend time, and we talked about choir and life and the kids and Africa and just everything. And it was just so nice to be able to talk to somebody about the choir, because I haven't really gotten an opportunity to in a while, because after a while people stop asking you questions. And it was so fun to like reminisce and talk about this thing that we get, and talked with Josh too. So it was just such a like meaningful time for me. I don't know that he came to visit and stuff. So I really wanted to scrapbook this layout and share that, because when I see this photo, that's what I think about. I think about how Josh and Vic and I and the other chaperones have this thing, this like shared thing that we just get each other. And it's so nice to have somebody else like that who gets you. So I wanted to scrapbook that, and that's kind of what the journaling is all about. So I'm not going to read the journaling to you guys, but that's the gist of it. So once I created my cluster, I glued down the doily and the cluster to the corner. I did let it overlap a little bit, so I did trim a little bit of the doily off. I just like it sometimes when things go off the page. I just feel like it looks nice. And then one of the Project Life cards from the cut apart sheet said, "Just be you." And so I fussy cut it out and I stuck that there. And that's like a subtitle, or I just feel like it really worked well because with other chaperones, you can just be yourself. You can talk about what tour was like. You just get each other. So I feel like that worked. I added a label, that like mint green one, the bottom right hand corner, and I stamped the date on there. And then now I was just seeing if there's any other kind of things that I wanted to tuck into those layers. And you probably noticed that I also tucked a couple of tags in there. And then I'm going to work on my titles. So I had these yellow puffy sticker letters from the Felicity Jane Note to Self kit. And I was just trying to figure out what I wanted my title to be. And I changed my mind a little bit here, but in the end, the title becomes a shared experience. And I don't know what I was going for first. I think I was going to say a common experience, but then it's not really common because there's not that many people who've done this. So I was thinking about it, and then I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I ended up taking off the com from the common and changing it to a shared experience and sticking those letters down. And I used the lines on the background paper to help me know where to stick the letters. And I think I would have preferred if the whole title fit on that top row, but it just wasn't going to because experience and shared are kind of long words. So I put a shared on one line and experience on the next line. So, another thing I could have done, which I've seen a lot of people do lately, is use two different title, like alphas or fonts or whatever, and that would look good too, but I like the way that it worked out. So I also thought that the yellow puffy sticker title would work well because there is a piece of yellow paper behind the photo, so I kind of wanted to draw that yellow down to where the photo was because I know that yellow is going to attract your attention, so I thought maybe if there's some yellow down there as well, it'll work well. So while I'm doing that, I just wanted to say thank you everybody who's come and joined me over on my Facebook group. I love that group. We have such good discussions, and I love seeing people's layouts they share, and there's just so many different ideas, and it's just fun. So thank you everybody for joining me over there, and if you haven't joined me over there yet, you totally should. So I will leave a link in the video description below for the Scrap Your Scraps Facebook page, and you should definitely come and check us out. And share your pages. If you make a layout inspired by something I make, I would love to see it. So come on over and share it. And if you're not on Facebook, don't worry, you can always create a layout on it and share it on Instagram or Twitter and just tag me. And I will leave a link in the description to all of my different social media platforms. I love social media. So I don't know, I feel like I've run out of things to say. Hopefully I can think of some other things in a second here. So next what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add something to the journaling, and then I'll add some embellishments. Actually, I'll do embellishments first. So I wanted to keep embellishments fairly simple because I didn't want anything to take away from the photo or the journaling. So I'm going to just go through the different embellishments, see what I have, if there's anything that I want to use. I end up deciding to add some enamel dots just around that photo and then just be you. And I love these colors match the layout perfectly. So I stuck 3 and then I stuck 2 kind of sporadically. I love enamel dots, but they're kind of expensive to ship to Canada. So unless they come in a kit, I don't really get them that often, which just makes me sad because I feel like every layout should have enamel dots on it. Every layout. Like every layout should have doilies and enamel dots. Those things just deserve to be on every page. And then I also wanted to use one of those core cards just because I love them so much. So I added them at the title where it says a shared experience. Stuck it up there. And then just because I wanted to bring a little balance to the layout, I decided to add like a tiny little cluster to that top left-hand corner. So I used some of the cut apart pieces in that top corner. So the Felicity Jean kit always comes with a cut apart sheet that's like on sticker paper. And so I'm just going to use like a piece of washi tape that I ripped in half and then a couple banners. And I'm just going to kind of stick those in the top corner, and I end up sticking them down but then adding a staple. The staple isn't necessary because it's on sticker paper, but I just felt like it kind of like defined it and made it look finished. And I ended up putting that pink strip down, which matches one of the papers behind the photo, but it ended up looking too long, so I'm going to end up tearing it in half so it's a little bit shorter. And the nice thing there is I brought a little bit more of that yellow and also that mint green color and the pink up to that top corner, so it kind of creates almost a diagonal line. You've got the embellishments up there, and then the title, and then the photo in that bottom corner. So while the layout is pretty bottom heavy, the title and those embellishment clusters in the top kind of helps a little bit, I feel. I have not taken design classes. I don't really know the different design rules. I just kind of go with what looks good to me. So if you're new to scrapbooking, and I know I often have people who are new to scrapbooking watch my videos, my encouragement for you is to just go with what looks right and feels right to you. There are things that you can learn to help your layouts work better, like balance, like trying to make the left hand and the right hand balance or the top and the bottom balance. There's things like the color yellow attracts your eye, so you want to use it sparingly or wisely. There's also things like the rule of thirds, so having the yellow paper, the yellow title, and then also a couple of yellow enamel dots almost creates like a triangle, and the triangle points your attention to the photos. There's also things about repetition. I don't really know what the rule is, but I think repetition's good. So the fact that you have that like washi tape strip and those papers in the top left-hand corner, which mimic the colors and the papers that are behind the photo, is repetition. So things like that are good for overall design, I think. If you want to learn more about like design rules, I know there's like lots of different classes out there that you can take. But personally, I just want to encourage you to like do what feels right to you. Do what looks good. If it doesn't feel balanced, then try adding something to the other side and take it away. What looks better to you? Look at the layout. What's the first thing that you see? What draws your attention? Things like that will help you make really great layouts. So hopefully that helps. I haven't really taken a lot of classes, just like a few here and there, and most of them haven't really been on design. They've been on other things, and I kind of just learned as I went. So you can do it too. Don't give up. And for those of you who are doing this a long time, maybe you can leave us some of your like best tips for newbies in the comments, or even tips for me. Honestly, guys, if you ever like see something and you think, oh, I really think it would have looked good if she did this, or if she took that away, like, I'm okay if you tell me. Sure. I mean, if you say it in a nice way, I don't mind. I love constructive feedback, so yeah, leave me a comment. Other than that, I had a lot of fun making this layout, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it and listening to me and seeing it, and I really hope you have a lovely day. Bye, guys!